So just recently, we just got a new reveal of the next DLC character for Tekken 8, and it turned out to be Heihachi Mishima. They trolled us, they bamboozled us. We thought we was gonna get the same DLCs we got last game, but Harada trolled us, he trolled the leakers, and we got Heihachi Mishima once again in Tekken. We all believed he was dead, which, let's be honest, this guy survived like literally anything. We could just assume that he's the son of Omni-Man or something, because this guy survived so many things, it's insane. I'm happy to see him back. I don't really have any opinions on him, but you know, it's good to have the old boss of Tekken games back, so that's good to hear. We also got some more footage for the DLC story, which is going to be dropping later this year, and this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. In the ending of the Tekken 8 story, we got to see Jin finally defeat his father, and then a couple moments later, we got to see Kazuya's baby mom stand over him. Now, more than likely, she's going to give him that child support bill and give him a pep talk on how he's a deadbeat father who grabbed the milk and dip to defeat his father, which sounds absolutely insane, but that's actually what he did. I'm actually going to do a video about understanding Kazuya in a later video, which I will not get into here. We also saw in the end credit scene that the devil gene has not been eradicated, but it is inherited by Reina. Now that leaves us with a lot of questions. That leaves us with the question, does Heihachi have the devil gene STD? We do not know. That is something they're going to have to tell us in the DLC story. The likelihood that he might have it, I'm not 100% sure, but it could rather be that, or it could be that Heihachi and Kazumi had a secret child and he, he's transported Reina somewhere else or something. I don't know. We don't know yet, so we don't know any of the details of how Reina has the devil gene or if it came from Heihachi or whatever. We don't know, but that's what I'll get into in this video. Also, I wanted to add that Reina's devil form is built like Kissy Missy from Poppy's Playtime. Am I the only one that thinks that? Just me? Okay, sorry. Anyway, in the Heihachi reveal trailer, we saw that Reina said that it's almost time, and we see that Heihachi has been taking out Tekken forces with his new, I guess, army or whatever, like the Tekken monks or whatever. So I'm not really sure if Reina is working with Heihachi or she's like trying to do her own thing with the devil stuff to try to get Kazuya. She probably doesn't even know her father is alive. We have no idea what is going on, but by the looks of it, she probably has some ties with Heihachi, because why on God's green earth would she do something and Heihachi not know about it? Unless Heihachi has something up his sleeve, like he's gonna tie in everybody to fight against each other like he did in that, I think that Tekken movie, Revelation, I forgot what it's called. It's a Tekken 6 movie where they all fought. He probably might do something like that again. That would be a great callback if they do that. I'm not really too sure if Reina and Heihachi are working together or he's like doing his own thing and she's doing her own thing. I have no idea. I don't even know, as I said, if Reina knows her father is alive. So it's up to debate. We're gonna have to wait and see. It's just safe to assume that Reina has something to do with Heihachi being alive, and she probably is doing something with him. So now, as I said, Heihachi could be using Reina just like he did with Jin with Org. I think that's his name, Orge or Org. Could be using her just like he did with Jin with that. Or they could be working together, and if they are working together, then that means that Jin and Kazuya have to work together, because there's no way on God's green earth, with no devil powers and just normal electric attacks, there's no way on God's green earth they're going to be able to take down Reina and Heihachi. It's going to be impossible. They're going to have to work together. It's going to have to be Jin and Kazuya, father and son, team up for the first time in history. And maybe June might be there to help them with her angel powers or whatever, and maybe Lars on the side. It's a high possibility, but I guarantee you that we're probably going to see a father and son team up for the first time in history. And also, we never really got a dynamic duo with father and son with Jin and Kazuya, because, so as you guys know, Kazuya left Jin like before he was even like born. Like he didn't even know when he was born. Like he wasn't there when his son was born. Like he wasn't there when he came out the womb or nothing. So Kazuya's whole mission was to kill his dad. So he was not there raising Jin or nothing. They never really had a relationship. Their only relationship was mainly in this game. They never really interacted in 7, never really interacted in 6, 5, and 4 like that. So they mainly had the most interaction in 8, and they were fighting. So they didn't really have a father-son bond or anything like that. It was just fighting to the death. Whose devil gene is powerful enough to defeat each other, and they eventually, defeated it and eradicated it off the earth. Which, as I said earlier, it's not eradicated because Reina has it now, so it's not really gone. So they're gonna have to team up to fight against Reina and Heihachi if they're working together. If they're not, then it probably might be Jin, Kazuya, and Reina to fight Heihachi, or the other way around, as I said. So it's a high possibility. It would be very cool to see Kazuya and Jin team up, father and son, have that dynamic relationship, and I would love to see how they would like interact, you know, because as I said, they never really had a good relationship. They never really had like a relationship where it's like they could bond. It was just a fight to the death, see who's more powerful than the other, and that was basically it. So now we're gonna actually see Kazuya and Jin team up and have a father and son relationship, and I think that would be the coolest thing to see, honestly. You could also see a situation where Reina turns on Heihachi, or she finds out he's alive, and then she finds out he's like this despicable scumbag or something, and then she turns on him, and then she's just evil incarnate or something like that, and then they all team up, Heihachi, Jin, Kazuya, they all team up to defeat her, which is highly unlikely, which it could happen because, you know, Heihachi and Kazuya teamed up to fight those Jacks, you know, just for like the greater good or whatever, so they don't get clocked. So this might happen. It's a possibility, but it's highly unlikely due to the fact that Heihachi is just evil and he just doesn't care about his family, doesn't care about nothing of that aspect. So more than likely this is not gonna happen, and even if it does, more than likely Heihachi is just gonna like turn on them and then try to kill them after. So let's be honest, this guy's never changing. He's evil incarnate. This guy literally tried to kill all of his offspring, so it doesn't matter. He's not gonna do that. He literally killed his own father. So what are we talking about? So he's not gonna be doing any of that heroic Spider-Man great responsibility. No, he's not doing any of that. Let's keep it on it. He's not doing it. I'm sorry, he's not. Now if Heihachi does become a good guy, then that would mean that we would have to get a new villain in Tekken. You know, it would just have to be somebody completely scratched, somebody completely new. Nothing with the devil stuff, because, you know, it's gone now after Reina is going to be gone. So that would give us a more interesting villain, or a different type of villain, a different scope of a villain for Tekken 9, God's willing, whenever that comes out, right? It would be very interesting if he does become good and starts to be a family man, this old grandpa that loves his family and whatever. It would be interesting to see. Highly unlikely though, due to him, you know, just being evil for no reason. And it's going to be very hard for him to just become a good guy for some reason. So highly unlikely, but it will be very interesting, because that would mean he would not be the villain of Tekken anymore, and then we would have to see somebody new, and then we will move on from the Mishimas being villains. Like, we would have to go to somebody else now. So I think that would be very interesting. We've seen the Mishimas and the Kazumas be evil for like the longest time. They're like the shape of Tekken. So for that to go in a different direction, it would be very interesting. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. It just will be a different direction, which I'm not opposed to new things, you know, so I'm not that type of guy. So it'll be interesting to see if they do that. Now, it's very interesting that all these characters tie into the story. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat if you think about it. So we got Eddie with the Tekken Force. We got Lydia with Heihachi ties with her family and whatnot. And then we got Heihachi, who is basically the main villain of the story, who is trying to take over the world or whatever, like he always does, right? So that leaves us with the last DLC character. Now, I am not 100% sure who it could be. It could possibly be Kazumi. It could possibly be Kazumi, due to the fact with her being the, you know, the knots and all the devil gene stuff, and she could just be the end of the devil gene stuff and we can move on, because it kind of started with her, right? Now, as I said earlier, we do not know if Heihachi has it. Now, if he has it through his, you know, blood or whatever, and not through Kazumi, then that changes things, because it could be that Kazumi, you know, with them sleeping with each other or whatever, that he got the STD from her, or he just had it, you know, he just had it in his blood or whatever. So it could be those two things. I'm not 100% sure, but if it is that she gave it to him, or if she just has it through her thing and her, you know, devil gene stuff, then that would mean that she will come back one last time. She would just put the cherry on top of everything and then just end the devil gene stuff, and then we can move on. So it's a high possibility that we might get Kazumi as the last DLC. It would just make the most sense. I don't know any other character that they would tie into this story, unless they do like a new character, like a brand new character that's like the true final boss, which I would not know who would that be. I hear some people saying that it might be Akuma, which I don't want to see Akuma again. Like that, like seeing Akuma last time was S tier. You know, it broke the internet. Seeing Street Fighter character in Tekken is absolutely remarkable. But to see Akuma again will be very, very annoying. I do not want to see Akuma again, and that's just lazy in my honest opinion. They could put Ryu in there, but I don't know how they would tie that into the story, unless they do Evil Ryu, which that wouldn't make any sense, right? So I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what would be the cherry on top to end this Mishima Devil Gene bloodline stuff. Let me know in the comments below, because I'm not really too sure. As I said, I'm hearing people talking about it might be Akuma, which I don't want. And I'm hearing some people say Kazumi, which would be the likelihood to end all of this Mishima Devil Gene stuff, which is the most likely possibility that might happen. So it's very interesting. And the color of the character is orange. Now, Heihachi's not blue, so I don't know how they got that situated. Lydia is red, Eddie is green. So I don't know how Heihachi, I mean, I guess he has a little blue in him, I guess, but I don't know any character that has any orange. So it could be Kazumi. I'm not really too sure, man. It's very, very interesting. Or it could be an entirely new character. An entirely new character to put a cherry on top and then this Devil Gene stuff. So I'm not really 100% sure, but let me know in the comments below who you guys think will be the last DLC character that will tie in all of this DLC story. But yeah, that is all that I have for you guys today. Let me know how you guys think about my theories about the story, my theory about, you know, Heihachi being the main boss and, you know, father and son team up with Jin and Kazuya. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Let me know why. What are you guys' story theories about what the DLC story is going to be about? What is going to be the ending? Who's going to be a DLC character? Sound it off in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my Christian channel. It's very important to your salvation and what happens after death. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. God bless.